Hi, welcome back to Hot Topics TV slash BrainFLoTv. If you've never been here before, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please, and let's get right into the topic. A former Facebook and Nike DEI manager just received 5 years in prison for stealing $5 million to fund her luxury lifestyle. And it is a sister girl. $1 million per every year. Was it worth it? I know right now if I ask a lot of people, I said, listen, I'm going to let you skate. I'm going to let you get away with stealing $5 million. And then after you're done, I'm going to give you 1 year in prison for each million you stole. Think about it now. Are you up for the deal? Surprisingly, a lot of people would say, hell yeah. I'll go do my 5 years. I'll stash my 5 mil. I'll go do my 5 years. And when I get out, I'll have $5 million waiting on me. Or something like that. Well, let's get into the story. You notice the headline says a former Facebook and Nike DEI manager. So just before we go any further, let's get everybody on the same page so we understand what it is she did for a living. A DEI manager is a diversity and inclusion manager who works closely with human resources to build an inclusive work environment. They often build like training programs and events to teach employees how to be supportive to people of different races and ethnicities, disabilities, gender identities, sexual orientation, navigating the landscape of the work relationship and the work field, the workplace. That was her job, right? And again, it's a sister girl. So the story says the sentence against Barbara Furlow-Smiles, that's her name, Furlow-Smiles, Barbara, and she was smiling in all her pictures. Her sentence was announced on Monday by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Georgia. Furlow-Smiles shamelessly violated her position of trust as a DEI executive at Facebook to steal millions from the company, utilizing a scheme involving fraudulent vendors, fake invoices, and cash kickbacks. Damn. They then said that after being terminated from Facebook, she brazenly continued the same fraud scheme as a DEI leader at Nike, where she stole another 6-figure sum from their diversity program. So she jilted Facebook and she jilted Nike. I guess they said go hard or go home, right? She went hard, real hard. According to the attorney's office, Furlow-Smiles began her elaborate fraud scheme while she was working as a diversity, equity, and inclusion executive at Facebook from 2017 to 2021. In that role, she had access to the company's credit cards and the authority to make purchases and approve invoices on behalf of Facebook vendors. She used her position to pay friends, family members, and other associates for items and services that were never given to Facebook. She was trying to put the whole hood on. According to the statement, hiding the phony expenses by filing counterfeit expenditure reports. And then she would just pocket that money and make it look like she spent that $10,000 on something that had to do with Facebook business, but really she spent it on a Louis Vuitton purse, she spent it on a nice pair of shoes, she spent it on a bag, Now once these people received the money, they said they turned most of it back over to Furlow-Smiles in cash. This is all her family members. She'll kick the check out to them. There would be no services. She would just have a legitimate person, so in case somebody ever went and checked, then that person would be answering the phone and be saying, yes, this is John James, and yes, I did provide services to Facebook on January 4th of 2024. Yes, I did work with Miss Furlow-Smiles. Right. And then it would be all backed up. It would be proven. But those were actually her homies, her cousin, her sister, her friends. Once she sent a $10,000 check out for those services, they would cash the check. It's a legitimate check. And then they would bring the money back to her. She would give them a small cut of the money, either in person or sometimes even by Federal Express or by mail. They would send the money back to her and check it. The Federal Express and the mail stuff, they were able to track all of it. It added that the so-called vendors included Furlow-Smiles' friends, her relatives, some interns from a former job that she went and recruited and hooked up, nannies, babysitter, her hairstylist, even her university tutor. I'm telling you, Sister Girl was trying to put everybody on. I give her that much. I mean, what she did was wrong, but she was trying to put everybody on. Now, Furlow-Smiles also used the fraud money to pay for more than $18,000 in preschool tuition and close to $10,000 to an artist for specialty photos. I don't know what that means. Now, after getting fired from Facebook, she continued the same fraud tactics in her next role as DEI leader at Nike, thinking she was untouchable and no one was going to catch her. Now, over 6 years, Furlow-Smiles used bogus charges and phony invoices to steal $4.9 million more from Facebook and $120,000 from Nike to fund a luxury lifestyle in California, in Georgia, and in Oregon, according to the attorney's office. I guess they found property in California, in Georgia, and in Oregon. She hit Nike up, but Nike wasn't too bad. But she really dug into Facebook pockets. Now, as a result, she not only threw away a lucrative career where she could have been making a lot of money for the next 20, 30 years. This is the kind of job that you just get older and you get seasoned in your position. Oh, go and deal with Mrs. Furlow. She's been doing this for years. You know, she is very in touch with everybody, blah, blah, blah. She could have just rode this horse until the horse got tired. But instead, she'll never be able to work in this field again. She will serve her time behind bars for her excessive greed. Her time will not be compromised. In other words, this isn't when you get sentenced to 5 years and then you are able to get out on probation or parole and do 3 years in and then you do the other 2 on parole. She is going to have to do a whole 5-year stretch. Every single day of 5 years is what the deal says. Furlow-Smiles. She was also ordered to pay Facebook close to $5 million and to pay Nike another $120,000. So forget the part where when you get out, you're going to have this money waiting on you and you served your time already for it. So now you're just going to ride off into the sunset with $5 million in your pocket. Nope, that's not how it's going to go. When she gets out, she's going to be held liable and responsible for this money. And you know how it goes if you don't pay that money. Oh, they'll be coming after you. They'll be putting a lien on your bank account or whatever job you have. They'll be confiscating the check and paying themselves first out of it. They be seizing your properties just so they can auction off your properties to settle the debt. You know how this works. So this doesn't end good for her at all. Facebook and Nike are not the only companies to have faced these issues of wire fraud. We recently did a video where a couple, which were two black women as well, they actually did it to Amazon to the tune of a couple $1,000,000. And they purchased motorcycles and they purchased luxury cars. One of them had I believe it was a Lamborghini truck. And they purchased two houses, two beautiful houses that looked like mini mansions. They were living a life off of the same exact scheme right here, working their way into a position where they were trusted and their position required them to have full use of the company's credit cards and the company's funds. And then they started hiring friends and family members and other people who they would plan this with. They even went as far as to hire other Amazon workers from other warehouses and other corporate offices to be in on the scheme. And then they would plan how they would give out these services. In exchange, they would pay these people, but what it really was they were paying their friends. And then their friends would cash the check and bring the money bag back to them where they would split the profits. This sounds easy. It sounds like something you could just get away with doing. But I don't know, man. It sounds like an easy way to prison for me. FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried, former CEO Elizabeth Holmes, and former Chief Executive Mike Lynch, they've all been sentenced or are facing charges of wire fraud. The FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center said that it received a record 880,000 complaints of the similar online fraud in 2023 alone, with possible losses of over $12.5 billion with a B, billion dollars. Wow. So the fraudsters are out here frauding. And this sister right here just figured, hey man, I'm gonna go for mines and let it be what it is. I don't think she thought she was gonna get caught, but now she's gonna be sitting behind bars for 5 years, and she'll have a criminal record that will follow her for the rest of her life. Was it worth it? If you were in her position, would you have done it? Leave your comments in the comment section below. This will be interesting to hear, and I'll catch you on the next video. It's Hot Topics TV /BrainFLoTv. And if you've never been here before, or if you are now, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click the bell next to the subscribe button so you are notified every time a new video goes up on Hot Topics TV, BrainFLoTv. I'm out. Peace.